Good evening, teacher and classmates. This is my PowerPoint presentation about reading strategies, comparing the two reading exercises for complex exams. We have to we have a little introduction about that. We have the multiple choice questions. There are some of the most important aspects. Identify the main ideas, for example, by a paragraph or by a text that we have at the moment of in the complex exam. Find specific information because sometimes it's not necessary to memorize all the information about the didactic guide, only the most important words and the most important text or the most important reading. This is not very secureable because we have advantages, easy to score. Some disadvantages are guessing is impossible, limited explanation. Uh, Matching headings. This is another part of this. Matching headings with paragraph that we saw before with taking the more important words. Um, for example, and the second, identify the main ideas. For example, an interesting paragraph and understand the organization of the main task because the organization of the test will help us to get a good score. We have this kind of comparison, multiple choice, match headings. For example, multiple choice focus on details, match headings focus on main ideas, objective scoring, require despair analysis, and possible guessing, less guessing. In conclusion, using using different reading exercises in complex exams is it's very common because the most important the most important is to take the most important words, not memorize everything. Um, this will help us to get a good score because it's the main idea. For example, multiple choice access specific details and interpretation because sometimes it's very important the interpretation that we have about the test in the complex exam. For example, matching headings evaluates global understanding and main ideas. As I told you before, it's very important the main ideas in this kind of exam for get a good score. There are the references that I use for this activity. And that's all. Thanks for watching. Thank you and thanks for your time. Take care.